Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's continuous discussion on Nectar of Devotion. So today we gathered here to continue our discussion on Nectar of Devotion. So I'm so sorry today I just overlooked my daughter's appointment. I didn't know post-admission appointment, post-admission. And I'm so sorry for putting up the time so early. I just realized 7:15, 7. Okay, today is Friday. So 7:30 just ideal time. And we just use this moment to chant our one round before we start. So thank you, Jiva Gunalan and Karapia Saras Mataji, Nanda Devi Mataji, and Sadguna Mataji for joining us for today's program. So today is a second day, is it? Second or third day since we started this what they call Chaturmasya. So this month is very, very auspicious to discuss Krishna Katha, to talk on the pastimes of Krishna, the pastimes of Acharyas, and all these kind of holy things, all right? So today is 11th July 2025, Friday. We have gathered here at 7:30 p.m. and to continue our discussion on what they call devotion. I mean, what they call Nectar of Devotion under the chapter 5, the purity of devotional service. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sva Parantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapparakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaita Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindodina Bando Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Okay, so today we continue our discussion on the human form of life. I think Mataji said page 50. Yes, exactly at the page 50 we have ended here. So we do a quick recap of what we have studied yesterday. So yesterday we have studied about this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.5.17, re-quoted in Nectar of Devotion at 1.2.66. Right? It's mentioned about that even if one does not execute the occupational duty, right? Like sometimes we don't execute occupational duty, like sometimes when we are, whether we are grahastha or varna ashram, okay? But immediately takes shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, there will be no fault in his part. All right. And in all circumstances, his position is secured. Even if by bad association, even sometimes by some bad association, he falls down, there is no what they call, and sometimes, okay, association. And if he doesn't finish complete the course of devotional service, what does that mean? What does that mean? Complete course of devotional service. So the complete course of devotional service, as we understood, we are starting now from what they call sadhana bhakti. First type is sadhana bhakti. Under that sadhana, we have two. First is sadhana. Second is Vaidhi sadhana and raganuga. So now we are still somehow or other we are trying to go deep into this Vaidhi sadhana. That means following the rules and regulation in practicing devotional service. Then eventually we will elevate ourselves to Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. That means we go into spontaneous love Then after that, we go into ecstasy, bhava. Bhava is ecstasy. Bhava got 4 division. And after that, we go into prema. Prema, I think got prema. Bhava is 9 or 4, something like that, right? So then we go to prema. Then ultimately. So in order for us to go back home, back to Godhead, the basic qualification is prema. Because once we go to the level of prema, that's when we are completed our destiny. Because once we go into prema, nothing else matters. Okay, like yesterday I gave an example, just like when a person starting to fall in love for a first time, when the person looks at the girl and they fall in love, and at that moment of that transaction, it looks like anything that happens around him, nothing matters. It looks like the whole world become void. The whole scenario become void, and he just like go into like supreme loving exchange, right? So we all, as a mundane, as we are born in this mundane place, we all are given a little chance of experiencing such an ecstasy, all right? But of course, so once we go to the level of prema, so once we think about Krishna, nothing else matters, other than serving the Lordship. So that means, the example that we don't finish up the complete course of devotional service, and unfortunately we die untimely, but still it's not a loss. All right, we will never lose anything. A person who's simply discharging occupation, duty, varna, ashram. But when a person simply doing his job, okay, I'm a good husband, good father, I've done my job, I've done my duty, right? But if we don't have Krishna consciousness, practically he just simply wasted his human form of life. All right, it doesn't matter, it's just simply waste of time. Okay, so that's a thing that we have read. And of course we also read about the Rishabha Deva, that advising to his son. All right, he says a person engaged in fruitive activity, repeatedly accepting those who engage in fruitive activities. I mean, those people who are just going into fruitive activity, they just simply repeatedly accepting birth and death. That's it, right? Because according to the desire, they get the next body, and they're just going to go there and get another more set of desire, and he's just going to continue born and die. Okay, so until they come to one level, they develop the loving feeling of Vasudeva. All right, so if without this, there's no question of getting out from this stringent law of material nature. The material nature is so awful, so gory. So there's no way we can come out of this material nature. All right, so example I gave yesterday, just a 4 inches door, it divides into 2 different environment. All right, this side, my friend came and told me his mother is very sick, going to die anytime. All right, and that's when they will keep pressing the siren. They say blue coat, blue coat. They say blue coat, CCU, blue coat, CCU. CCU means cardiac care unit. So there's someone in cardiac care unit fainted twice. Right, so twice they pressed the alarm. The whole the whole hospital was on alarm. Then I saw the man. He said anytime. He was so devastated. But after I saw the 4 inches door, I came to that side. I saw another man was so happy carrying a child and saying, "At last, I'm a father." Can you see my boy there? They wrap him in a blue. All right. So I said, if he's wrapped in blue means boy, wrapped in pink means girl. So he's wrapped in blue. He's a son, I think. Oh, look at him. Oh, I'm so happy. He was in such a great ecstasy. And this side of the door, the person is in great distress. So this kind of happiness and distress, we can't get rid from this our life. Right? Just like a passing cloud. Now you see the season is extremely hot. But after that, suddenly you feel there'll be a heavy rain pour. All right. So there'll be a pour of that. That means when the thing is hot, we do not need to pray for rain because the rain comes by itself. When it keep raining, we do not need to pray for this thing. So similarly, the happiness, distress keep coming to us. All right. So we do not need to pray for it. It just comes just like a passer cloud. All right. But as such, any person who is very seriously engaged in occupational duty in the Varna ashram, but who does not develop love for the Supreme Personality Godhead Vasudeva, he should be understood simply spoiling his life, right? Spoiling his human form of life. Because the human form of life is so rare, because only in the human form of life you can achieve this perfection. Right? As an animal, you can't pray. Even you go to, okay, now we are talking, we are in a middle planetary system. We go down the middle planetary. We go down. Also, we can't achieve, we can't see that, we can't get the, because down there, more gross. So there's more suffering. All right, in that suffering area, up to hellish planet, there's no way you can engage in bhakti. And above the earth sphere, it's heavenly planets. You go there, you have so much of excitement and happiness. You have so much of excitement. So in that place also, there is no way you can practice sadhana bhakti. The only place you can practice is in this human form, in this material world. All right, bhumi. And in this bhumi, we got a human form of life. And that's among all the species of life, only human form of life can practice this kind of sadhana. Right? With that, we continue our discussion for today. Quoted from 11th canto, 11th chapter, text 32, re-quoted in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami at Eastern Ocean, second wave, text 67. Anyaya iva gunandoshan mayadishtan api swakan dharman santyajaya sarvan mam bhajet satu sattamaha. This is confirmed in the 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, verse 32, in which the Lord says to Uddhava. Now Krishna is speaking to Uddhava. Entire 11th chapter, you see that the Lord speaking to Uddhava. He says, my dear Uddhava, any person who takes shelter of me. So now the word that we should look here is any person. Right? He's not saying to a specific people. He's not talking about people who are specifically in certain geographical environment. He's not saying that only Indians. He said any person. Any person. He doesn't also say that person who are Brahmana or anything. Any person who takes, right? Dharman suggests sarvam, but okay. So take shelter of me. How to take shelter of him? In complete surrender. So as I said, how to surrender to Krishna? Right? We just say, oh, we all have to surrender to Krishna, surrender, surrender, surrender. But the question is, what is the process of surrender? How you could actually surrender to the Lord? Just like raise your hand and says, Lord, I am yours. Dear Krishna, I am yours. All right, we just raise our hand and simply surrender. Just like when the policeman point the gun at the thief simply surrender, raise his hand and surrender. That time you don't think about what is going to happen, what is going to do. He just simply surrender to the police. If you're going to go against him, he will shoot. All right. So complete surrender. He says, any person who takes shelter of me in complete surrender. All right. Then after take complete surrender, what do you do the next? Then he says, follow my instructions. He says, follow my instructions. Okay, first you surrender. And after that, what do you do? The policeman says, now hands up. All right, then follow the instruction. Now I want you to lie down. Put your hand behind. Right? Don't take anything. Put your hand behind you. I want to handcuff you. That means follow the instruction. All right? Then after follow the instruction, what do you do? First, we do complete surrender. Krishna says, any person who takes shelter of me in complete surrender. Number 2, follow my instruction. Number 3, giving up all occupational duties. Giving up all occupational duties. That means giving up all your ahankar. I am this, I am that. All giving up all occupational duties is to be considered to be the first class man. Right? So, a person who surrenders to Krishna, okay, first you have to take shelter. Right? Complete surrender. He takes shelter by complete surrender. Then he follow my instruction. Giving up all occupational duties is to be considered first class man. So all the occupational duty that we are involved, it is dovetail to sense gratification. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I am this, I am that, I'm making so much of money. For what? Sense gratification. But when you take shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, by complete surrender and follow the instruction, giving up all occupational duty means giving up all the desire of that occupational duties. That means now you're just doing in the matter of service, right? Your job, you are doing this just to maintain yourself and everything. It's dovetail everything to Krishna. So these are the people are called as first class men. So in this statement, Prabhupada said, okay, the Supreme Person of Godhead is to be understood that people who are generally attracted to philanthropic, right? It is to be understood that people who are generally attracted to philanthropic. What is philanthropic? Do some good things. Do some good venture, opening hospital, opening schools, right? Those who are attracted to philanthropic work, those who like ethical work, moral values, altruistic, political, and social welfare activities may be considered nice men. Yes, they can be considered as a nice man, fair enough. Only in the calculation of material world. So these are the people who are only considered as the, like what Ananda Krishna is doing. That is called philanthropic work, right? So he's doing that philanthropic work. That means he's like setting up the scene where that everyone can get this what they call study loan, non-interest loan, and all this kind of philanthropy, like Tata, Birla, and all these people. They have created this kind of fund, Tata Fund, and there's Eric Chia, something like that, Sunway Group, Eric Chia or something like that. He got his fund. All these things are considered philanthropic work. Some people will follow ethical. Some people say, no, I follow the moral value, right? Some people altruistic, political, social welfare. But these can be considered nice people. They are very nice people. But they are considered nice people only in the eyes of material world. Only for the mundane people who will say this is. But from Srimad Bhagavatam and other authentic Vedic scripture, we learn further that if a person simply acts in Krishna consciousness, how? If a person simply acts in Krishna consciousness and discharges devotional service. Discharge means what? To perform. Right? Like the past discharge from your body. Right? The blood discharging. Right? There's a past discharge. No, the word discharge. So, but you discharge, you're doing it, performing it. Devotional service. He is considered to be far, far better. These are the people considered far, far better situated than all those persons engaged in philanthropic, ethical, moral, altruistic, and all these kind of people. So when we are engaging in devotional service, we are far, far better, far, far superior than all these kind of people who are doing these kind of great things. Then in 11.5.41, quoted by Rupa Goswami in 1.2.68, in Nectar of Devotion, he says, Devarishi Bhutapta Nirnam Pitarnam Nakin Karonayam Rinin Charajan Sarvat Manaya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundang Parihirtya Kartam. The fifth thing, the same thing is still more empathetically confirmed. That means this thing is more empathetically confirmed. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11 Canto, verse for what they call 11th Canto, 5th chapter, text verse 41, which Karabhajana Muni addressed Maharaj Nimi. That means there's now discussion of Karabhajana Muni addressing to Maharaj Nimi as follows. My dear king, if someone gives up his occupational duty as they are prescribed for the different varnas and ashram, but takes complete shelter, surrendering himself unto the lotus feet of the Lord, such a person is no more debtor. See, like for instance, we are all have so much of debts, right? Like the Malay says, hutang dunia, hutang akhirat. All right. So we have so much of debts. We can say, oh, I don't owe any bank. My car is paid up. My house is paid up. I'm getting my pension. I got my savings and I got nothing else. I have no one to answer. No, you're not that. You have debts. You are debtor to your father. You are debtor to your mother. Right? Because your father brought you here, was the cause of your birth. And he did a lot of things for you, education-wise and everything. Your mother nurtured you, breastfeed you, nurtured you, brought you up. So it's a debt, no? And for them to create this kind of things, your forefather. Today, I'm here sitting and speaking to you in English. Being an educated person, could study at least not to a big level, but at least to a certain level, I could read and understand because of the sacrifice of my father. Because my father wanted to educate me. Why he got educated? Because my grandfather wanted to educate my father. That's when he felt that education is important. But his siblings and his father was not. He said, we born in this family, we only need to know how to do balance sheet. We just need to know how to do accounting. Certain Tamil words will fine. We just do business and we make money. They teach you how to count money, how to go and do business, how to venture. All right. But because of my grandfather's revolutionary idea, when he came to Malaysia, he revolutionized that idea that says that no matter what, in this place, the children has to be educated. So that my father was educated and I became educated. So that means I am also considered indebted to my grandfather, like that to my all the forefathers, like that we have tapped to our forefathers who created this kind of environment for us. Today we are sitting here. They are the one of the main cause. Maybe somewhere in our forefathers should have done some kind of sadhana bhakti. That's why somewhere or other in this parambara, we became a devotee. So we have tapped with our forefathers. We have tapped with our parents, right? Then we have tapped with our aunties and uncles, whatever it is. And after that we have then, but that is all okay. That's why when during funeral, they like to do this thing called kodi. Mamanar kodi, Sambandhi kodi, they put the sari or vesti, right? They offer that thing. Of course, now it's pathetic. They should give it to them, not put on the body. So they put the kodi. That means what? Whatever debts I have, I settle now itself. And they put the enne, when the person dies, they put the oil on the forehead. What is that oil means? Today, from now onwards, my relationship with you is cut. Right? It's no more. You're no more my father. You're no more my brother. You're no more anything. I have renouncing my this thing. So now you go. Right? Now you go. So அதெல்லாம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் அர்த்தங்கள்லாம் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோமே. So அதுனாச்சும் பரவாயில்ல. But we have debts to moon, who nourishes us. We have debt to the sun, who gives us the source of life. We have debts to the mother earth. We have debts to the cows, who given us all the milk that we have drank. Right? Then we have debts to the brahmanas. Then we have debts to all the 33 million devas. Today you can walk and act and everything because of Vayu Bhagavan that functions within you. You're breathing. Right? Ashwini Kumaras. So now when we start Srimad Bhagavatam, we will study that in, I think it's Canto 2 or Canto 3. If I'm not mistaken, Canto 2 or Canto 3, they will explain about the all the system that happens in our body is controlled by some kind of devas. What is that, Vivan? I can't see your... Just got to know the reason why the funeral ritual. Oh, okay. Right. So then, where was I? So now, when we talk about this kind of so debt, so we have so many people we have indebted. Until you settle the debt, you can't get off this place, right? Sometimes when say, like for instance, when you owe someone, example, like you go to the restaurant, you eat, you couldn't pay the food. What you need to do? You go and wash plates. So never mind, you cannot pay my debts, come and work for me. So similarly, when you owe someone, you have to take birth in that environment to fulfill your debts. So like that is debts. So we owe so many debts, unlimited debts. So many debts. Because of Varuna, there's a water. Because of Indra, there's a sky, there's a rain. So all these kind of things. So that means we are. But once here, that Karabhajana Muni it's informing Maharaj Nimi. He said if someone gives up occupational duty and all this, and they are prescribed for the different varnas and ashrama, but they take complete shelter. So now the question is, I am chanting Hare Krishna, I'm okay. No. Once you take complete shelter. So that is our goal. So now the question is, how am I supposed to do that complete shelter? That's why we say chant Hare Krishna. When you start to chant Hare Krishna, you are some or other taking. How do you know that you are already into that? When you get addicted to chanting. When you're addicted to Nama Bhajan and Hari Katha. Nama Bhajan, Hari Katha. When you have these two, when you are so addicted to it, it's like a, what they call? It is a what is the thing? What is the word? Not a benchmark. It's a
Ruchi.
test ground. Huh?
Ruchi.
No. அது test பண்ணுவாங்க. What they call this? There's a word for testing.
English liya, Prabhu.
Yeah. One is benchmark. Another one is what they call. Okay, anyway. Sorry, Prabhu.
Litmus test.
Yeah, but there's another word. What they used to do. There's what the test. What they call. Yeah, the word is in my mind, not coming out. They call litmus test. No, there's another word for it. Yardstick. Okay, it is a yardstick. So it's a yardstick to know whether you are progressing or not.
The benchmark.
Sorry?
Benchmark.
Benchmark is benchmark, but this yardstick. No yardstick, just to find out. Benchmark is the
Milestone.
Also, yeah, correct.
Milestone.
Benchmark, milestone, yes, correct. So it's a yardstick to know. So now I'm doing a check and balance. That's why I'm telling you, please do your journal. Write your life every single day. What is happening with you? Do your yardstick. Don't be a random person. இன்னைக்கு நான் காலையில எந்திரிச்சு என்ன நடந்துச்சு? நீ காலையில மூடு கெடுத்து விட்டான். ஏன் கெடுத்து விட்டான்? என்ன நடந்துச்சு? So you write down. And now based on the Shastra, try to rectify it on a daily basis. All right? So we take a complete shelter. Then secondly, what? Then surrendering himself unto the lotus feet. First, you take complete shelter, then surrender yourself at the lotus feet of the Lord. So what happened? That person is no more debtor. So whatever debts that you have is or consider settled. You don't owe anyone. That's why once we start to do sadhana bhakti, we don't do all kind of ritual. We don't do this what they call pitur homa. That means doing this pitur. That means the yagya for the forefathers. We don't do this nakshatra shanti. Sometimes when you have this kind of bad luck, they say, oh, because we owe certain planets, we do the yagya to offer things, to offer that says that. We don't do that. We don't do all kind of rituals. Every ritual got a meaning, but we don't do all these kind of rituals. All right? So this kind of ritual, we don't do. Why? Because we consider all our debts are settled. All right? No. As he has any obligation to perform. So at the same time, you have no debts. Second, he has no obligation, like do this kind of ritual to the different kinds of activity rendered to the great sages, ancestors, living entities, and family and society members. So this is what I say just now. So we have no obligation towards our great sages, to our ancestors, because we are doing a greatest service to them. When you are qualified to go back home, back to Godhead, your entire generation, 21 generation backward is considered liberated. Right? So that means we are doing a great things for ancestors, living entities, all the living entities, right? And family and society members. Nor has he any need to bother. So he just no need to bother to execute the 5 kinds of yagya, 5 kinds of fire sacrifice, or for becoming free from sinful contamination. So there are 5 kinds of yagyas they do, as I say just now. Yagyas to the forefather, yagyas to the devas, yagya to the, all these kind of 5 different type of yagya. He just to get free from sinful contamination, he do not need to do that. But after that, what Karabhajana Muni says, simply by discharging devotional service. It is that simple. Simply by discharging devotional service. He is freed from all kinds of obligation. He is freed from all kinds of obligation. Here, again, what I said, take shelter, surrender. Completely take shelter of the Lord. Don't try to be hero anymore, because we have done. Our age is somewhere either 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, and all this kind of, our age is running. It is good enough to prove that whatever attempt that we do, it ends in futile. It's futility. Right? It's futile effort. It's waste of time. Like how many cars I've changed. Now I'm thinking back all the cars. Sometimes, I'm a car crazy person. Right? The amount of cars I've changed in my life. I think 20, 30 cars I've changed. I love cars. But what happened to all the things? is futile. Everything is futile. So now we understand all our effort is futile. So now what I should do now? I simply need to take shelter at the lotus feet of God. All right? By how we take shelter, then we surrender ourselves. We say, Krishna, I'm yours. All right? Then after we surrender unto the Lord, then what we need to do? Follow his instruction. All right, what is his instruction? He said in Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is a book of instruction. What he says, first you understand that you're not the soul. Yes. Second, you should understand the other kinds of process of spirituality is very tough and it's futile. How? Like Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Dhyana Kanda. All these are waste of time. No, all these waste of time. But if we cannot, you can dovetail to Krishna, dovetail to me. Karma Kanda, do whatever you do, dovetail to me. Yukta Vairagya. All right. Then Jnana Kanda. You don't do all this kind of speculative knowledge, nonsense knowledge. Don't think that I am formless. I have got a form. Study that and become perfect. Okay. Then we talk about dhyana. Don't waste your time looking at something else, want to merge into the light, merge into this, merge into that. You understand that I am the person sits in the heart. Think about me in your heart and try to achieve me through that meditation. All right. Then after that, Arjuna says, all these are not possible. Yes. Now I tell you something else, Bhakti Yoga. Simply utilize all this stuff, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Dhyana Kanda, all these things dovetail to me. You achieve perfection. Oh, really? Then after that, he says, yes, without this, there's no other way you can achieve things. But in order to know me, very simple, seek out to my devotees. Seek out to the person who knows me better. Because how much in your little tiny brain that you can understand me? Our brain is so tiny, right? Teeny, so teeny brain. In that teeny brain, how much can you know? In this teeny brain, our brain is extremely corrupted. Maybe we have a little bit here and there that is still clean, that we can utilize it to understand Krishna. While we are in that performance also, we have so much of disturbance. We get distracted here, we get distracted there. And at the end of the day, it also become a big question mark. Am I doing the right thing or not? Is this sadhana bhakti is good or not? I should have joined this group. I should have joined that group. No. No. Just give me a second. All right. Where was I? Like you just go to Thursday, sing some bhajan and come back. No rules and regulation. Oh, I convert to this religion. No rules and regulation. As long as you convert, you can go to heaven. No? So this kind of stuff, we start to have doubts. Hey, look at this fellow, he's doing well. Look at that fellow, he's doing well. Look at this fellow, he's doing well. And I am trying to dovetail everything to Krishna. It looks like I'm not doing well. Something is not right. Doubt will arise. So, in this corrupted brain, mind, intelligent, with the drops of here and there, some kind of cleanliness, a clean place which has not yet corrupted, we are trying to execute sadhana bhakti. Some or other we understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. By reading here and there, little here and there, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we understand. Oh yes, this is the only process. And also it promises that you can go back home, back to Godhead this very birth itself, if you're really serious into it. Right? And they say, yes, chant some mantras. Yes, chant Hare Krishna mantra. I have no time to chant all the mantras because I cannot reckon. I remember, 1008 mantras. That's why what they call Bhishma Dev. He says in first canto, he says those who can't chant Sahasranamam, 1000 names of Vishnu, his tongue is as good as the tongue of a snake. His tongue is useless if he can't chant Sahasranama. That means 1000 names. Om Keshavaya Namah, Om Narayanaya Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah, Om Govindaya Namah, Vishnavaya Namah, Trivikramaya Vamanaya Sridharaya Kesha Padmanabhaya, Vasudevaya. Then like that, Narsinghaya Namah, Om Ramachandraya Namah, like that. 1008. How to remember? Right? But you see, you don't need to do all that. You just simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everything is inside there. But now, so what's next? So in order for me to purify my corrupted brain, Krishna says, seek out to the person who knows me well. Don't try to attempt it with your little teeny corrupted mind. You can't achieve anything in life. So what you should do? Go and seek for him. surrender unto him, inquire from him, serve him, right? Being the one who knows, he will impart his knowledge unto you. So we have to surrender to a spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master who comes under Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, not even any other Parampara, Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara. So when you take the shelter of a spiritual master, and the spiritual master initiates you, accepts you as a disciple, then your cleansing of that corrupted brain will go into a fast pace. You get things cleared quickly through sadhan bhakti and nama bhajan and hari katha. Because you know why? Why is that so? Why is that kind of weird ritual when a person gives you initiation? I am chanting Hare Krishna all this while. Now what is happening? So the chanting of Hare Krishna before you're initiated is you're considered a what they call in which method is that probation, contract, probation. But after that, once you're perfected, you try your best to follow the 4 regulative principles. Try your best. You can come to certain level, right? You could manage it. That means we know that you are very seriously trying to control it. And now with the help of a guru, the guru will initiate you. And once the guru initiates you, what will happen? First thing is change your name. So now you are Das. Das means what? Servant. Dasi means the female part, the feminine part of the servant. Right? He makes you a servant. Then after that, he gives you a name, Krishna's name. Sometimes they say just by thinking of your name, also you can go back to Godhead. If you can't, you just think about your own name. Vaishnava Kripa Das, Vaishnava Kripa, Vaishnava Kripa, Vaishnava Kripa, like that. Think about your own name. Right? So he changes your name. And after he changes your name, what do you do? He chants the Maha Mantra into your ears. He asks you to click Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That means he confirm you into the chanting of the holy name. So if doing that, what happened? First thing, once we take initiation, all our aprarabdha karma is gone. Aprarabdha karma means the karma that is awaiting for you to suffer. Prarabdha karma means that you are suffering. Prarabdha karma, sanchati prarabdha and kutta karma, all that is been prepared for you in this birth. You can't get it. But aprarabdha karma, that one, the karma that you're going to suffer consequences in your future birth. And to create even further karma in this birth, all these nullified. Nullified by the spiritual master. Is considered taken off. So you just suffer what you have now. That's it. But your future is guaranteed. That means the future, you're not going to go through that apararabdha. That means the future birth, if I suppose to be born as a dog, the consequences of me born as a dog is eliminated. So what I'll do, I'll born in the future, I'll just continue where I stop. That's it. Then first we take initiation, all these possibilities will happen. Then under the guidance of the spiritual master, you chant your holy name. So what is the big difference going to be? Same name, only your beats different. Maybe you're chanting with normal beats. Now Guru will give you a Tulasi beats. That's it. So what's the big deal? The big deal is the spiritual master will constantly pray for you. The spiritual master won't pray that I hope that Padita Tarna Jagannath Das, my disciple, will become the richest man in Malaysia. I hope that my disciple Padita Tarna will become the most popular rich man, multi-millionaire. He don't pray for that. The spiritual master always prays, I hope that all my disciples will achieve that highest level of bhakti, prema bhakti, and eventually go back to you. So through that prayer, the Krishna who Bhakta Vatsala, who loves his devotee, who are indebted to his devotee, who can be arrested by his devotee, will oblige. So the Mahamaya will turn into you. This thing, the Mahamaya will not stop, but then Yoga Maya. So you will be somehow or other will start to get into kind of what they call? Kind of this thing. Sometimes, say like for instance, when you go and repair a car, okay, say you change your tire, example, or come from any manufacturer, okay, go for a tire change. right? First, they change your 4 tires. They do balancing alignment. After that, you cannot take the car and straight away go. What will happen? The mechanic will take the car, will go for a spin. And during that spinning, he will start to see whether the car is still perfectly, the tire is perfectly aligned or not. If it's not aligned, he stop the car by the roadside, he will start to adjust. He will go down and adjust the screw. Then after they drive again, adjust like that. So similarly, once we become a devotee, sometimes we will be thrown into this material condition of life, right? So what we understand, so now, okay, now I'm become a devotee. Suddenly, Krishna will open up Maya Devi for you. You get entangled, you fall down again. Why? So that he want to tighten you further, right? Formerly say, I love to drink. I love to drink beer, which was right, which was correct. I loved it very much. But suddenly, halfway, Krishna will open an opportunity for me to go and drink again. All right? Or then people say, oh, fallen, gone. Fallen, yes, definitely fallen. But what? Krishna is letting you go, like just doing the alignment. You're just driving. The car is alignment. How? Then you just go back. But now the intensity is not like that before. Now you just drink 1 can. Oh, I feel so guilty, Krishna. I'm so sorry, Krishna. I will never do it anymore, Krishna. Krishna, yes, okay. It's proven that this person is changing. Because Krishna also want to do a acid test. He also want to test whether you really done it or not. You're really okay or not. So he let you fall and then you come back. That's why he says sometimes when you see a devotee sometimes fall, we have no right to discuss about their falling or criticize them. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says very clearly, behold, my devotee never perish. Right? Like just now we read, even sometimes when the devotee falls, he doesn't even need to go for any kind of purification of parigaram and all these kind of things. No need. He just simply go back where he stopped, continue from there, chant Hare Krishna and just continue. There's no prayaschitta. So like that. So simply by discharging devotional service, he is freed from all kind of obligation. Now you understand what it means? Right? Just like how take a drive, test, check. Okay, they check that means they adjust. Then after that, you come and send the car. Okay, your car is perfect. Now you can do. Right? Okay. So the purpose is that as soon as man takes his birth, once a person takes his birth, he is immediately indebted to so many sources. He has so much of debts. Indebted to great sages. For example, first is great sages because he's profit from reading the authoritative scripture and books. Like now we are studying the Vedas. We are taking, we are profiting from this, right? That means we are indebted to Srila Prabhupada. We have indebted to Vyasadev, right? For example, we take advantage of the books written by Vyasadev. Vyasadev left us all these Vedas. Before Vyasadev's writing, the Vedic literature, there was simply heard. Before that, it was simply heard Sabda Pramana. When the Guru speaks, we just listen. But now he wrote it. And the disciple would learn from mantra quickly by hearing and not by reading. Later on, Vyasadeva thought it is wise to write down the Vedas, right? Because in this age, people are short-memoried and unable to remember all the instruction given by the spiritual master. Therefore, he left all the Vedic knowledge in the form of books such as Puranas, Vedantas, Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many other sages like Sankaracharya, Gautama Muni, Narada Muni, to whom we are indebted because we take advantage of their knowledge. Because we take advantage of their knowledge. Similarly, we are obliged to our forefathers because we take our birth in the particular family where we take all advantage and inherit the property. Sometimes we inherit the property. Therefore, we are indebted to forefathers and have to offer them pinda. So we have to offer them pinda, prasada. You know, every Amavasya, we have to offer pinda to our forefathers after their date. But of course, as a devotee, what we do? We simply offer prasad. That's it. Similarly, to the people in general, we are indebted. All right? We are, as well as to our relative friends and even animals such as cows and dogs who render us so much of service. In this way, we are indebted to demigods, to the forefathers, to the sages, to the animals, and to society in general. It is our duty to repay them. It is our duty to repay them all by proper discharge of service. But by one stroke of devotional service, If someone gives up all obligations and simply surrender, gives up all obligations and simply surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is no longer a debtor, nor obliged to any other source of benefit. All right. So some or other, every one of you are some or other in the mode of surrender. If not, you won't be around. And you're so much attracted to Krishna, Harikatha, and Nama Bhajan, Nama Kirtan. So try to develop it. So in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Krishna said another instruction. Krishna says, one of my most favorite, 18.66, re-quoted in 1.2.69 in the verse, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Sarva Dharman, all kind of religiosity. Parityaja, give up. Mam means me. Ekam, only me. Sharanam Vraja, surrender completely. Ham tam sarva papebhyo moksha yashmi mashuchaha. Ham tam sarva papebhyo, ham tam sarva papebhyo, I will deliver you from all sin. Papa means sin. Papa, pavangal. And moksha yashmi mashuchaha. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, give up all your occupation and just become surrendered to me. I give you assurance that I shall give you protection from all sinful reaction. Right? So give up all your occupation and just send it. Sarva Dharman, Parityaja. Give up everything. One may think that because he's surrendering unto the Supreme Personality, he will not be able to perform all other obligations, he thinks. But the Lord says, no, don't hesitate. Don't consider that because you are giving up all other engagement, there will be same flaw in your life. No, don't think like that. I will give you all protection, Krishna says. I will give you all protection. Don't hesitate. Don't think, oh, I'm not offering Pinda, so I'm afraid that my forefathers will become ghosts. I'm not offering Pinda, so I'm not doing this. I am not doing, no, don't worry. Right? I supposed to take care of my disease. I'm supposed to do my, no, don't worry. He said, Krishna, that's why Krishna said, I will take care of everything. So that is the assurance of the Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Ham tam sarva papebhyo moksha yishyami mashuchaha. Then in Agastya Samhitayam, all right, that is Agastya Samhita. That means it's like Brahma Sanghita. Okay, what is Sanghita? I hope you all remember. Anyone don't know what is Sanghita? When the Vedas are divided into 4, Vyasadeva gave the Vedas to each disciple. Samar, Yajur, Rig, and Atharva. He gave every Vedas to one disciple for them to become Acharya and to what they call to expand. So what the disciples do? They divide the Vedas into 4. Vyasadeva, this Veda means 1. All right. The Veda was actually complete 1. Okay, when you look at the Veda Sastra, all right, there is only one big knowledge of book. But what he did, he divided into 4. Right, divided into 4. So what the disciple did, he took it and divided into further 4. Right? So what is that further 4 he divided? First thing he divided into what they call Upanishad, then Agamya, Brahmana, Aranyaka, and Sanghita. Sanghita. He divided the thing into, that means a ritual, detailed ritual for the distinct, then instruction, Upanishad, and the Sanghita. All right, the commentary. So this is what they call Sanghita means. So like that, there are 4,000 something Sanghita. I think we did that calculation before. So this is what they call Sanghita. So now it says in Agastya Sanghita. All right, now Rupa Goswami is quoting from, like we have Brahma Sanghita, now it's Agastya Sanghita. What he says, Yata Vidhi Nishedautu Muktam Naivo Pasharpataha Tatana Sparshato Ramo Pashakam Vidhi Purvakam. Okay, it's re-quoted in 1.2.70. It says, there is an additional evidence in Agastya Samhita. Additional distinct. As the regulative principle of the scripture are not required by the liberated person. So, a regulated principle of not required for liberated person. Who are the liberated person? Means those who have already gone into Raga Nuga Sadhana Bhakti. But Vaidhi Sadhana, you have to follow the rules. The step one. But once you're liberated, you do not need to follow the rules and regulation. Okay, like give you a good example, like my daughter going to STPM. Until Form 5, she was prohibited from carrying handphone to school. She's not allowed. Right? She have to go to the school on dot and all these kind of rules and regulation. But now as she gone into Form 6, what happened? She's allowed to carry phone to school. Right? And it's not required for her to be there at sharp 7:20 in the morning. Even 5-10 minutes late or half an hour, it doesn't make any difference. So once you go to the higher level, the lower level rules and regulations, you do not need to follow. So the regular principle of scripture are not required for a liberated person. So the ritualistic principle indicated that in Vedic supplement that also not required for a person duly engaged in the service of the Lord. All right, Lord Ramachandra. All right, he's talking about Ramachandra. In other words, the devotee of Lord Ramachandra or Krishna are already liberated. The devotees of Lord Ramachandra or Krishna already liberated person and are not required to follow the regulatory principle mentioned in the ritualistic portion or the Vedic scripture. Ritualistic portion means the karma kanda. All right. So now it's also mentioned in from Srimad Bhagavatam. Egadase, Egadashesh Eva. 11.5.42 requoted at 1.2.71 Nectar of Devotion. Svapadamulam bhajata priyasya tyakna tyakta nyabhavasya hari paresha vikarmaya chotpatitam katanchit dunoti sarvam hirdi sannivishta. Similarly, 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, okay, 11th canto, chapter 5, text 42, Karabhajana. Okay, now still Karabhajana Muni is continuing. Right? Karabhajana Muni is still in a conversation with King Nimi. Says, my dear king, a person who has given up the worship of the demigods, all right, the person who has given up the worship, the word that we should mark here, given up, the worship of the demigods, and has completely concentrated his energy in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has become very, very dear to the Lord. All right? Those who have given up the worship of the demigods and start to concentrate his energy in devotional service, that person is very, very dear to the Lord. As such, if by chance or mistake he does something which is forbidden, by chance or mistake we do something wrong, forbidden, there is no need for him to perform any purification ceremony. All right? Bhajate priyasya tyaknya bhavasya. Okay, right? He does not do any kind of parigaram because the Lord is situated within the heart. He takes compassion for the devotees accidentally mistaken and correct him from within. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita and in many places the Supreme Person of Godhead says. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, takes a special interest in his devotee and declares empathetically that nothing can cause his devotee to fall down. He is always protecting them. Right? So now, how we can understand that? I was listening to a podcast yesterday about this, the last nurse, the final, I mean, the person who nursed Prabhupada during the last moment of his life. So, and the time, Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna Goswami was reading one letter from one of the devotee who fall down in Miami. All right, he's one of the very well-known person. From his, let me see, he break away from his con. He created his own parambara, his own way of doing things. Of course, chanting Hare Krishna and Bhagavad Gita is a principle, but it's not following the stringent way of Gaudiya Vaishnava. So their disciples, their group is the one, the Tulsi Gabat. Now you see the CIA, American CIA, what they call CIA hate, right? Central Investigation Agency hate. Tulsi Gabat is from their group, right? They are the disciple of that that Prabhupada disciple. He wrote a letter to Prabhupada and said, my dear Prabhupada, if I were have the opportunity, first I heard you are not well. This thing happened in London. So his secretary, Tamal Krishna Goswami, was reading, and Abhiram Prabhu was massaging Prabhupada. And that time Prabhupada was very ill, the last journey to London. So he wrote a letter. I'm so sad, I'm so disheartened to see that you're very sick. If I were given the chance, I would prefer to give my youth to you and exchange your old age, because you know well how to use your youth in a proper manner. So something like that. And Prabhupada started to tear. Huh? And he says, oh, this letter come from this person. I can't recall his name. Come from this person. And Prabhupada, and he said, please forgive me or something like that. He was saying that. And then Tamal Krishna was going to say, no, he came from him. So what should I do? And he just said, he's always in my mind. He's always in my mind. I love him so much. So that's an example. We can simply say this particular person has gone, this particular person has done this, done that. No. In the eyes of Srila Prabhupada, he loves his disciple. Doesn't matter in whatever condition they have gone. Prabhupada have still loved them dearly. Right? Another example was in Vrindavan. When he's talking about this one particular Swami. I can't recall his name. Yeah, I can't recall. Anyway, so like that, there's a lot of incidents. So we should be very careful. So as how the Lord is always grateful and always particularly very close, to his devotees. Similarly, the spiritual master still have a very soft spot for the disciples. So we have to be very, very careful not to offend them. When we see some 3 things we have to keep confidential. 3 things we have to keep confidential. Please write it down somewhere. Right? If you got a book, a pen, please write it down. The 3 things have to be kept confidential. Number 1, we have to keep our japa beads confidential. Don't show your beads to everybody. See my beads. You should not reveal your beads to anyone. It has some kind of power. Beads. Number 2, you should not reveal your sadhana to anyone other than your mentor. I'm chanting 32, 64, 70, 80 rounds. The one, your sadhana bhakti. Whatever sadhana bhakti that you do not reveal it to anyone. Why? Because when you're going to say it out, some or other you're going to fall into egoism. Number 3, you should not reveal the name of your spiritual master. Who is your spiritual master? You have to keep it secret. So if anyone asks you, that's why now people usually don't ask who's your spiritual master. Who's your guru? Nobody asks you, especially now. Formerly they used to do, but now people are becoming more matured. They don't ask who's your guru, with whom you have taken shelter and all this. They don't ask. Unless it is a confidential talk between a devotee, a senior and a junior or something like that, they'll ask, who's your guru? Right? So sometimes why? Because they would like to glorify a guru. Right? And so like that. So when they ask you, so what are the things? When people ask, so how many rounds you're chanting? When anyone asks you, just say, well, I'm just doing 16 rounds as per recommended. That's it. So we do not need to reveal it out, especially. Do not say out to anyone. Because I have done that foolishly. Sometimes I say, Prabhu, I'm chanting 64 rounds. I wake up at these hours and I chant 64 rounds without fail and everything. After say out, next moment, I cannot chant. Maybe kannu patronrangla. Maybe adu kuda unmaiya irukkalam. So whatever sadhana, you do not need to tell, I do this service, I do that service. Keep it confidential. These 3 things have to be kept confidential. Right? So when we can keep this confidential, so we do not need to create some kind of envy from anyone. Just keep self and respectful to everyone. Right? So with that, we have completed chapter 5. So before we go to chapter 6, do you have any questions? Anything you want to discuss? Any questions? All good? Oh, Keson is here. Any questions? Do you think you need to take a short? Okay, until what time allocated? Until what time should I do? Or do you like to have this discussion? Is it until 9:30? Is it okay? Or you prefer to finish at 9? Hare Krishna, anybody home? Hello? Am I audible?
Okay, then, bro. Arishna, bro. Okay, then, bro.
Yeah. What? Okay, na? 9:30?
9:30, okay, then, bro. 9:30, okay. 9 o'clock, okay. 9:30 good, okay, then, bro.
All right. How about others? Nandari, Mataji, I saw you unmuted. Yeah,
I'm okay, Prabhu, till 9:30.
9:30. Everyone okay? 9:30? If okay, just put a thumbs up so I know.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. So if it's going to be 9:30, now it's 8:30. We take a short break. So we take 3 minutes, then we come back and we continue. Hare Krishna. Right, Hare Krishna. So now we continue to the next chapter, chapter 6. So before that, is there any questions you want to ask? Any comment? All okay?
All okay, Prabhu.
Okay. So, and there's no question. We continue our new chapter, chapter 6, how to discharge devotional service. Now we have understood that by discharging devotional service, we do not owe anyone. That's a topmost. After so many births, you got that opportunity. And only this pure devotional service can take us back home, back to Godhead. So all these things we have studied up to chapter 5. So we are still under Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, that is following the rules and regulation. So now we have, until chapter 5 was evidence. All right, why we should practice devotional service. Why we should practice devotional service. So there was lots of evidence. That means until verse 70, 71. So now we're going to see verse 72. All right. So Rupa Goswami was giving us lots of evidence from all varieties of Puranas, all varieties of Shastra, revealed scripture, that why devotional service is very important. But now the question is how to do it. All right. So now we have some or other trained by someone. Some or other we are here trained by someone, and we are practicing it. Now we are going to regulate our discharging of devotional service. How to do it, right? So according to what Prabhupada is going to give us that instruction, purport, and of course quoted by Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So let's look at Eastern Wave. Eastern Ocean, second wave, text 72. Hari Bhakti Vilase Sya Bhaktir Angani Lakshasha Kintu Tani Prasiddhani Nirdishyanti Yatamati. So here we are talking about from Hari Bhakti Vilas. Right? Hari Bhakti Vilas was written by Sanatan Goswami, the elder brother of Rupa Goswami. So let's see what he says. Srila Rupa Goswami states his elder brother, Sanatan Goswami, has compiled Hari Bhakti Vilas. So, Sanatan Goswami, now we understand this. Please underline. Has compiled Hari Bhakti Vilas for what? For the guidance of the Vaishnavas. All right, for the guidance of Vaishnava. And therein has mentioned many rules and regulations to be followed by the Vaishnavas. Some of them are very important and prominent. And Sri Rupa Goswami will now mention these very important items for our benefit. Who's going to mention? Srila Rupa Goswami is going to mention these very important items for our benefit. All right. So now let's look at verse 73. Attara anga lakshanam ashritavantara vedam kevalam eva va ekang karmatra Vitvadbir ekang bhaktyangam uchyate. Angam. Angam means atra angam lakshanam. All the angas. Angas means limbs. The purport of this statement, Sri Rupa Goswami proposes to mention only basic principle, not detail. So the purport of this statement is that Rupa Goswami proposes, he gave a proposal to mention only basic principle, but not details. For example, a basic principle is that one has to accept spiritual master, right? So there's a basic principle. Exactly how one follows the instruction of spiritual master. So how one follows the instruction of his spiritual master is considered in detail. Okay. So for instance, if one is following the instruction of the spiritual master, and that instruction is different from the instruction of another spiritual master, this is called detailed information. Right? Say like, for instance, we have one Diksha Guru and we have many Siksha Guru. So your Diksha Guru should have given you one example. Okay? He gives you why? Because the Diksha Guru knows you well. He gives you one particular information. But after that, you go and see another spiritual master, Siksha Guru, and he give you another instruction. So this is called the detailed information. But the basic principle is to accept a spiritual master. Is good for everywhere. Although the detail may be different, Srila Rupa Goswami does not wish to enter into the details here, but wants to place before us only the principle. All right. Ata angani guru pada shayastasmat Krishna dikshadi shikshanam vishrambena guru seva sadhu vartanu vartmanum. So here it's mentioned that basic principle to follow. So what are the basic principle to follow? Number one, accepting shelter of the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master. That's the first thing we have to follow. Number two, becoming initiated by the spiritual master and learning how to discharge devotional service from him. Number three, obeying the order of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. And number four, following the footsteps of great Acharya teachers under the direction of the spiritual master. 75. Sat dharma pracha bhogadi tyaga krishnasya hetave nivasho dvarakadaucha gangadir api sannidau. Number 5. The fifth rules is inquiring from the spiritual master how to advance in Krishna consciousness. And number 6, being prepared to give up anything material for the satisfaction of the Supreme. That means to give up anything material for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. This means that when we are engaged in devotional service of Krishna, we must be prepared to give up something which is may not like to give up. And also we have to accept something which we may not like to accept. So we have to accept something which may not like to accept. Like for instance, we all love to sleep. Who doesn't like to sleep? Right? So now we give up the sleeping, we regulate our sleeping. We don't sleep until the sunrise, until this thing. So we then what we don't like to accept, we don't like to wake up for Mangalarti. You know, it's very natural, right? Ayo, Mangalarti, you know. So we have to give up that and accept that thing, all right? Number 7, residing in the sacred place of pilgrimage like Dwaraka and Vrindavana. In 76, Vyavaharesu Sarvesu Yavat Atanu Vartita Arivasara Sammano Datriasvatari Gauravam. Accepting, number 8, accepting only what is necessary. Accepting only what is necessary. Or dealing with the material world only for as far as necessary. Number 9, observing fasting day like Ekadasi. All right, Ekadasi. Fasting day like observing Ekadasi. Number 10, worshipping sacred trees like the banyan tree. Right? Sometimes banyan tree means Arsamaram. So that's why now South India Arsamartha player. So when they are worshipping player, actually worshipping their banyan tree because they go around. Right now. Esham tatra dashanganam bhavet praramba rupata. These 10 items are preliminary. These 10 items are preliminary necessities for beginning the discharge of devotional service in regulative principle. That means Vaidhi Sadhana. So that means this is the 10 important things to start to discharge devotion in the district. In the beginning, if a neophyte devotee observes the above mentioned 10 principle, so neophyte means the starting devotee, junior. If he can just follow these 10, surely he'll quickly make good advancement in Krishna consciousness. All right? They make a good advancement in Krishna consciousness. In verse 78, Sangatyago vidurena Bhagavat vimukha janahi Shishyadyanam Shishyada Nanu Banditvam Maharambadya Nudyama. So the next set of instruction, is listed as follows. Right? So what first they said, first 10 for neophyte. Those was starting. So let's quickly recap. What are the things? Number one is accepting shelter of the spiritual master. Number 2, becoming initiated. Number 3, obeying the order. Number 4, follow the footstep of the spiritual master, previous acharyas. Number 5, inquiring from spiritual master, learning. Number 6, be prepared to give up anything material for the satisfaction of the Lord. All right? And to accept anything which is not favorable to yourself, but good for your bhakti, accept that. All right? Number 7, residing in sacred place like Dwaraka and Vrindavan. All right? Number 8, accepting the necessary, which is enough for you to deal in this material world. Don't over endeavor. Keep it within your whims. Number 10, worshipping the sacred trees like banyan tree or tulasi tree and all these kind of things. Right? So these 10 things are important for a neophyte. But now the next 10, the next set of instruction listed as follows. Number 1, one should rigidly give up the company of non-devotees. This is very important. Give up the company of a non-devotee. All right? So the Jana Sangha, Sangatyaga. So that means this is what we have learnt in Nectar of Instruction. Rupa Goswami says, first we have to give up the company of non-devotee. The non-devotees give up. We only must associate with devotee. Number 2, one should not instruct a person who is not desirous to accepting devotional service. Don't waste time to person who are not interested. The first thing we tell them, chant Hare Krishna and feel how you feel. Then you come and join this kirtan. You go to other place, kirtan is so boring. Come and join us. We have live music. We got drum and kartal. All right? So we have all these kind of things. So you say, come, okay. But other than that, you don't give them instruction. Now you do this, do that, don't. So one should not. All right? Number 3, one should not be very enthusiastic about constructing costly temples or monasteries. All right? This is called under prayasa. So that means one should not be very enthusiastic. What we have, just maintain it. Now we see that so many people are love to open centers. Right? Of course, every town and village, everywhere they like to open. Okay, they want to open here, open there. But now you see the people are massively reduced. Massively reduced. Because this thing all scattered. So that's why it says that we should not be very enthusiastic, because to build a temple, to build monastery, it takes so much of effort. First, we have to get your idea about building the place, getting the land, developing the place. We need to think about making so much of money, to look for to the donor and a lot of headaches. Right? So don't waste your time, but engage your mind in that thing. Okay, now that's the thing. Then after that, in 79, what he says, Bahu Grantha Kalabhyasa Vyakhya Vada Vivarjanam. Then after number 4, what he says, one should not try to read too many books. So we do not need to read too many books, because if you look at Shastra, there are so many books to read. So what the 3 principal books we use? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's only 3 books we read. Then you see, and then what is this book? This is the teachings of the Acharyas. Other than these 3 books, what are the other books we read? We read Nectar of Instruction for Rupa Goswami. The instructions of the Rupa Goswami. We are reading Nectar of Devotion by Rupa Goswami. We have read Bhakti Aloka by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, the instruction. Number 4, we read Harinam Chintamani, the instruction of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And in the future, the day we were reading about Bhajana Rahasya, right, by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So that means we are reading all that works of Acharyas. So we do not need to waste our time to read so many other books, right? Like Ramayana, Mahabharat, what else? Ramayana, Mahabharat. Of course, we cannot speak outside very openly, but because you all are becoming a very serious devotee, that's why I'm discussing this with you. So for Ramayana, people say, I like to read Ramayana for the sake of engaging his attention, create the attention to Krishna conscious. We give them Ramayana or Mahabharat, right? So all that are not, because when Prabhupada came, he just gave the 3 principal books: Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Brahma Samhita he simply took from his spiritual master. He didn't write it, he just took it from them. Because the spiritual master Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada have translated into English. He just took it. Right? Other than that, he didn't, all the things he spoke about Acharyas. Because somehow or other the devotee, after studying the book, to understand further, Prabhupada gave his purport, and of course, and through all these books of Acharya, we understand even more details. Right? So you should not try to read too many books. Nor should one develop the idea of earning livelihood by lecturing professionally, reciting Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So we should not think about making money. Oh, I'm doing Srimad Bhagavatam class, I'm doing Bhagavad Gita class. Give me money. Right? So my livelihood is by giving lecture. So when I talk, people give me dakshina and I live in that dakshina. It's all no. Right? But giving dakshina to a person who teaches you is your duty. Giving dakshina is your duty because you're learning. It shouldn't be given, it shouldn't be like just a gratitude. So how the dakshina that you usually give, they give veshti, fruits, all that, some grains and all this kind of. But now in modern days, we don't know where the person is teaching, and so dakshina is important as your gratitude. But the person who are teaching should not keep dakshina in his mind. I'm teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I'm having a Bhagavatam series. Subscribe, pay me 500, 1000. Or come and learn Bhagavad Gita. I teach you Bhagavad Gita. Right? Give me money. All that prohibited. That means, in other words, I am teaching Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita for the sake of my duty as a preaching essential, but not in the idea about thinking about making money. I'm doing all these classes, so you pay me. No. Right? So it's very, very important. We are very, very important. So, text 80. Vyavahare pyakarman karpanyam shokadya vasavartita. Number 5, the first instruction, one should not be neglectful to ordinary dealings. Right? One should not be neglectful to ordinary dealings. Right? So it's just ordinary. I don't take it, I take it very lightly. No, we have to be very attentive. Number 6, right? One should not be under the spell of lamentation or loss of jubilee. Okay? One should not be under the spell of lamentation in loss. So when we lose anything, we lament, oh, yo, poche, poche ne. So once we gain something, we should not be jubilant. Yeah, I made it. We should not do that. We should be always remain sober. Right? Then 81. Anya devan avanyacha bhutanudvega dayita sevanama paradanam udbhava vabhava karita. So now in 81 it says, number 7, one should not disrespect the demigods. Very important. One should not disrespect the demigods. Right? So, the demigods are someone who are greater than us. We should not disrespect them. We understand worshipping demigods is not important. Because now we are in the topmost hierarchy in spirituality. In the topmost hierarchy. So once we are in the topmost hierarchy, right, say like for instance, I become a personal friend of Anwar Ibrahim, I cannot go to the local Adun and disrespect him. Hey, you siapa? You know? They say, oh, you are close as Anwar Ibrahim. But once I become a close as I have no right to be disrespect to all the Aduns, Mantri Basas, and all the ministers. So being respectful is one of that Vaishnava quality. We are respectful to every living entity. We are not eating meat because we know that they have right to live. We have mercy to them. I mean, first of all, why we should have mercy to them when they are part of us, when they're part of this nature, right? So we have no right to kill them. We have no right to eat them. Because I respect that living entity and I respect their livelihood, I respect their bodily this thing, which they acquired according to their desire. All right? I respect their decision. So when I am respectful to every living entity in this material world, when I'm respectful to every other human being, I cannot say you fallen, you rascal, you are gone case. When I'm respectful to everyone, why I should not be respectful to the demigods who are superior than us? Who is demigod? Just like us, but with extra power. Right? They have been selected. They have achieved their greatest thing. So we should not disrespect the demigods. So when we see the demigods, we should offer our pranam. So how we should offer pranam? When we offer obeisance to Krishna, we should fall from left to right. See that the altar is here. That means I'm falling down this way. All right. That means my leg is at the left, my hand is at the right. But if I offer my obeisances to demigods, I should do the opposite way. That means my hand towards the left hand side of the altar, my leg is at the right hand side, the opposite way. So when we offer the obeisance to the demigods, so what we say, my dear Deva, whoever it is, Muruga, Shiva, Amman, kindly engage me in the service of Krishna. That should be our prayer. We should not say, oh, you demigod prayer. No, don't do that. So Krishna, we study that in Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm not sure in 8th, 9th canto. There's a description about discussion between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. He says, Lord Shiva says, all your devotees, I will take care of them. Lord Shiva will tell Lord Vishnu, all your devotees are very, very dear to me. And Lord Vishnu says, if any of my devotees disrespect you, I will discard them. So there's a discussion there, right? We see whether we can, once we start our Srimad Bhagavatam, we'll study that. Anyway. And number 8, one should not give unnecessary trouble to any other living entity. All right? We do not give unnecessary trouble to other living entity. Very important. Sometimes we say, okay, we got a rat in the house, we got this thing. Of course, why? We are not clean. So somehow or other, we have this kind of pest. We have no choice, But don't do it unnecessarily, right? So very important. Number 9, one should carefully avoid various offenses in chanting the holy name of the Lord or in worshipping the deity in the temple. We should carefully try to avoid the offenses. Example, inattentive chanting is one of the biggest offense. Of course, the biggest offense is, of course, when we blaspheme the devotees, right? Blaspheme the devotees is one of the big offense. Nama Prabhu, leave us. But another offenses that create other offenses is when we are inattentive. That's why we say we don't chant when we drive, we don't walk around, do things, think about something else and chant. So how we should chant? Attentively sitting in one place. We studied that in Harinam Chintamani, right? Sit in one place, cover your head and everything. I say cover your ears. Just chant Hare Krishna, something like that, so you can concentrate better. Now, of course, devotees also have shared your opinion about it. You see, a lot of changes happen, yes. Another thing that I discovered just a few days ago is when I am sitting in a park, okay, because I always chant, sometimes when at night, I like to go to the park and I sit there, I like to chant. Nice place. So when I open my eyes, I see people are jogging. Varieties of people are jogging. So the heat came when I start to smell a fragrant. No fragrance. When they chant, when they jog, when I smell fragrant, I know a Malay lady is jogging. Because basically the Malay ladies like to basically take the perfume and pour on themselves, and like so strong fragrance until can smell far away. So whenever I just when I smell, I used to go, oh yeah, there's one Malay lady chanting. That's when I realized, oh my God, I've been not being attentive in my chanting. Right? Some people walk as a couple, some people walk like, there. So I'll be looking at it, just check and balance. Am I really chanting? No. When I close my eyes and chant, I fall asleep. Right? So what I need to do, I remember as what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the way of dhyana, your eyes are not wide open, your eyes are not completely closed, just slightly open and look at your nose. I just tried that actually. So I didn't open my eyes to see the people are walking by, and I didn't close my eyes to fall asleep. So I just slightly open my eyes and just see at the bottom part, right? Just like this, and I just can see my nose, my belly, my leg, like that. And I just meditate on Tulasi Devi, Tulasi Maharani. I just meditate on Tulasi Maharani and I just chant Hare Krishna, and it works, right? So that's how we try to avoid our offenses. So even in the, like for instance, people are chanting at wee hours. They are waking up early, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and chanting. They fall asleep. When they open eyes, they feel very agitated. So keep the eyes half open, half closed. Like that, you're not agitated, you're not falling asleep, but you're just half open, okay, half conscious, and you chant your Hare Krishna and meditate on Tulasi Maharani. Why is that so? Because in my car, I was waiting for my children. So in my car, I was having this Gaur Nitai. They call Happy Doll, Gaur Nitai. I kept that in my car. I was thinking when I'm waiting for my children, I can chant looking at them. No, I couldn't concentrate. Looking at them, but by the time the car things are moving around. So what I do? Now I come out with the idea, half eyes, half closed, like that, and just think about Tulasi Maharani and start chanting. And it works. All right. Try and see, please share your opinion in the group. In fact, I'm thinking about opening the group so that everyone can comment. Like for instance, certain decision I make, people are sending me personal message. Sometimes I forget about it, So I rather open up the group so that that you can convey your idea into that group, whatever things that you had. So I'll be opening up the group later. Your any opinion, any testimony, whatever, you can share in the group. But please, no good morning, good evening, good night message, no forward messages. All right, just based on what we have discussed and based on this thing. So something you read, something you heard, something you felt, you can share it there so that you can inspire others. All right. So then, okay, now let's look at the next one at text 28. Krishna tad bhakta vidvesha vinindandyasa ishnuta vyatirekatayamishang dashanam shat anustitihi. The 10th one. One should be very intolerant towards the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. Very important. So once we hear someone talking bad about Krishna or his devotee, we should become very intolerant. Sometimes you can show your anger there, no problem. So without following the above mentioned 10 principle, all right, one cannot properly elevate himself to the platform of sadhana bhakti or devotional service in practice. So now what we have discussed, the 10 things. If we don't follow these 10, we cannot come to the level of sadhana bhakti. It's on, you're talking about sadhana bhakti, right? So what are the things that we need to do? Right, let's recap. Number one, one should rigidly give up the company of non-devotees. Number one, very important. Non-devotees not allowed. Number two, one should not instruct to the person not desirous of accepting devotional service. Don't advise people who are not interested in bhakti. Number three, should not be very enthusiastic by building temple and all these monasteries. So don't waste time. Right? So then, number four, should not try to read too many books. Don't read too many books and should not develop the idea about earning livelihood by lecturing. Don't think about, okay, now I'm a full-time devotee, I can make money from this. No. And number five, right? We should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings. One should not be neglectful in order. So things that ordinary things that we are doing, we do not be neglecting. Sometimes when you talk to the devotee, just ordinarily don't. Everything must be very attentive because bhakti means attentiveness. Number 6, one should not be under the spell of lamentation in loss or jubilation in gain. If anything good happen, you're excited. Anything bad happen, you start to lament. Should not do that. Number 7, one should not disrespect the demigods. Very important. Number 8, one should not give unnecessary trouble to other living entities. All right, don't simply kill ants and everything. Okay. And number 9, one should carefully avoid these various offenses in chanting. All the chantings or the worship of the deity, we try to reduce the offenses, okay, to your best capability. And number 10, one should be very intolerant to blasphemy of Supreme Person Godhead or his devotee. Anybody blaspheme the devotees, anybody blaspheme the Supreme Person, Krishna, we should be intolerable. Sometimes your own family members do that, avoid them. So now, without following the above 10 principle, one cannot properly elevate himself to the platform of sadhana bhakti. So now, this is the thing that we come to the sadhana bhakti. That means devotional service in practice. So far, any questions? Any questions? No question? Okay. Now, let's look at 83. Ashastatra praveshaya dvaratve vamshate trayam pradhanam evoktam guru padashayadikam. So altogether, Rupa Goswami mentioned 20 items. And all of them are very important. I hope you all have underlined all this. Out of these 20, the first 3, namely, accepting shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, taking initiation, and serving him with respect and reverence are the most important. So out of these, the 3 top things is important is accepting a shelter, taking initiation, and serve him. It is the most important. Dritri Vaishnava Chinanam Harer Namaksharasycha Nirmaladya Nirmalyadishchadya Tasyagre Tandavam Dandavam Natihi. The next important items are as follows. Number 1, one should decorate the body with tilak. Right? So you should decorate your body with tilak. Put tilak all over your body, which is the sign of a Vaishnava. The idea is that as soon as one person sees this mark on the body of the Vaishnava, he will immediately remember Krishna. Sometimes when you wear tilak, like today I went to the hospital and said, are you all Krishna devotees? Huh? Are you all this? Tell me more. So today the doctor also interested. So I've preached to the doctor. Hopefully that she will join our bhajan, our group and everything. And she also going to practice. Why? Because of tilak. So Lord Chaitanya said that Vaishnava, he who is seen reminds one Krishna. When we see a devotee, he reminds about Krishna. Therefore, essential that a Vaishnava mark his body with tilak to remind others of Krishna. Right? Number 2, in marking such tilak, sometimes one may write Hare Krishna on the body. So sometimes when you put tilak, there will also people be writing Hare Krishna, Radhe Krishna, and all this on the body. Right? Number 3, one should accept flowers and garlands that have been offered to the deity and the spiritual master. So sometimes when you go to the temple, when people give you garland, don't put the garland and take it and put it in your hand. No, you should accept the flowers, garland prasadam, which is offered to the deity and the spiritual master, and you should put them on one's body. You should keep it, or you should always have garland. All right, when people offer garland, you should immediately accept it. Number 4, one should learn to dance before the deity. Right? That means what? Tandavam, Dandavan Natihi. Nati. Tandavam, Dandavan Natyam. Natihi. So we must always learn to dance before the deity. When you see the deity, sometimes people stand like a log during the kirtan. Don't do that. When we see kirtan, we should immediately start to dance. All right? We remember that we are not doing any kind of kacheri. That you should simply stand in one place and just, when I say, come dance, follow. No. No, shouldn't do that. At least sway your hand and leg. The Swami dance. Your left leg go to the right, your right leg go to the left, like that. At least do something. Don't stand like a log. All right. Number 5. One should learn how to bow down immediately upon seeing a deity or the spiritual master. Must learn how to bow down immediately upon seeing a deity and the spiritual master. When you see a deity, when they open the altar, immediately must bow down. When you see a spiritual master, immediately must bow down. It's very important. Right? Abhyutanam anuvrajye gatistane parikramaha. Archanam paricharya cha. Geetam sankirtanam japaha. In 1.2.85. Now it says, number 6. As soon as one visits the temple of Lord Krishna, one must stand up. As soon as one visits the temple of Lord Krishna, one must stand up. Number 7. When the deity is being born or for a stroll in the street, a devotee should immediately follow the procession. Okay? When they go on parikram, when they take the deities like Jagannath Radha Yatra, or they take the deities out, everything, one should immediately follow the procession. All right? In connection, it may be noted that in India, especially in Vishnu temple, the system is that apart from the big deity who permanently situated in that main temple, there is a small, okay, in the evening. All right. So in India, you see there's a big deity will be there, and they have a small deity, Utsava Murti. So it's a common thing in India, especially even in Malaysia also. You see, go to the temple, they take the deity and the deity will go on parikram. You know, like pallakla தூக்கிட்டு போறாங்களே. So போகும்போது all the devotees will follow. So when that thing happen, don't sit in one corner and just see. Follow the procession. Right? So in some temple, it is the custom to hold big procession. In some time, in the evening, there'll be a band playing. All right? Natyam, Talam. All right? And they will have a nice big umbrella. You know, they put the umbrella. பல்லாக்குல தூக்கிட்டு பெரிய கொடையை பிடிச்சிக்கிட்டு they'll go. All right? முன்னுக்கு மேலத்தாளத்தோட கூட்டு போறாங்களே அந்த மாதிரி. Over the deity who sit on the decorated throne in the cart or palanquin, which is carried by the devotees. All right? The deity come out on the street and travel in the neighborhood while the people in the neighborhood come out to offer prasada. Right? So sometimes, so of course now, we see that in our any of our South Indian temple, Deva temple, we see that happening. But in India, every Vishnu temple, they simply take the deity out so that people can come and offer. So the residents of the neighborhood all follow the procession. So it's very nice scene. When the deity is coming out, the servitor of the temple put forward the daily accounts before them. Right? Also it happened in India, right? So when the deity come out, the servants will come and tell, okay, இன்னைக்கு எவ்வளவு வரவு, எவ்வளவு செலவு. Okay, they will put the daily account to them. As so much to the collection, so much to the expenditure. The collection and also the expenditure. The whole idea is that the deity is considered to be the proprietor of the whole establishment. So the temple, everything belongs to the deity. And all the priests and other people taking care of the temple are considered to be the servant of the deity. Okay. This system is very, very old and is still followed. Of course, in Malaysia, we see in all the Amman temple, Murugan temple, still being followed. So therefore, it is mentioned that here, when the deity is on the stroll, people should follow behind. Okay. Number 8. A devotee must visit Vishnu temple at least once or twice every day, morning or in the evening. All right. If you have a temple nearby, so you must always visit the temple at least once or twice. All right, morning or evening. In Vrindavan, the system is followed and very strictly. All the devotees go to town, devotees in town go to every morning and evening, they visit the different temples. Therefore, during this time, there are considerable crowd in all over the city. There are about 5,000 temples in Vrindavan city. Of course, it is not possible to visit all the temples. But there are at least 12 very big and important temples which is started by the Goswamis, which should be visited. All right. Number 9. What number 9? One must circumambulate the temple building at least 3 times. All right. So if it, like for instance, like in Todu, like in SJMKL or even in Ipoh, they build the temple in such a way that it can go around. Right. So you must circumambulate the temple building at least 3 times. You must go around parikram. Okay. In every temple, there's an arrangement to go around the temple at least 3 times. Some devotees go around more than 3 times. I mean, 10 times, 15, 20, according to their vows. All right. You can even take a vow to go around. So the Goswami used to circumambulate the Govardhan hill. Okay. Sometimes you go to India, you go around the Govardhan hill. One should also circumambulate the whole Vrindavan area. Okay. You go to Vrindavan Parikram. If you all get a chance, do it. Number 10, one must worship the deity in the temple according to the regulative principle. Offering arati, prasada, decorating the deity, etc. This timing must be observed regularly. Number 11, one must render personal service to the deities. Okay, when you go to temple, don't go empty-handed. Try to bring something, some fruits or whatever, and offer to the deity, or even tulasi. So if you get a chance, cultivate big tulasi garden, every day pluck tulasi and offer to the temple. If you don't have a deity in the house, you can offer, or you can make garland and offer to the temple. The pujari will offer to the deity. Number 12, one must sing. When everyone's singing, don't keep quiet. Must sing along. Number 13, one must perform Sankirtan. Number 14, one must chant. All right? So, Vignapatis tava patascha swado naivedya padayo. Dupa malyadi saurabhyam Sri Murtis prishtim ikshanam. Number 15, one must offer prayer. Number 16, one must recite notable prayers. Right? Sometimes we can remember some prayers. Okay, like prayers of Queen Kunti, or try to think about one or two prayers. Like Brahma Sangita prayer, Chintamani Pragara Satma Sukalpa Vriksha, or another one, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama. There's a notable prayer by Queen Kunti. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. We can't remember any prayers. Simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 17. One must taste the Mahaprasad, food from the plate, fruit from the very plate offered by the deities. Right? Sometimes we have a chance. They have Mahaprasad, you should taste it. But when there's Mahaprasad, say like you sponsor the food or something like that. When you see Mahaprasad, don't take everything. Everybody must taste. It's quite common. When they see the Mahaprasad, sapu one shot, because they want to go back and give their family members. No, don't do that. You rather, if you are that kind of person, what I suggest, do something different. Take the entire Mahaprasad and go and distribute to everyone. Just walk around and say, now, little Mahaprasad. What is this? Oh, Mahaprasad, not take. You rather do that. Don't be miser because you want to bring it to the family member who didn't come to the temple. Okay? It's very important. Secondly, some people will only prefer Mahaprasad. Right? Sometimes when we donate, say like Janmashtami is coming, they'll be cooking what, 100, 200, 500 items. Say you're a sponsor, you say, where is my Mahaprasad? Don't do that. When you receive a Mahaprasad, take it with so much of honor. At the same time, don't differentiate the food which is prepared in the temple. Oh, I only take, oh, that means I take one big plate. I only take only Mahaprasad. And how about the other preparation? The other feast they give, oh, that's prasadam. Don't differentiate Mahaprasad and prasadam. Everything is prasadam. I remember when my spiritual master came to Todu many years ago, a devotee, he had his plate, the Mahaprasad. I saw he supposed everything. You know, they took everything. They took the whole bunch of it because they want that Guru Maharaj Mahaprasad. When I saw him, I said, they said, oh, this is Guru Maharaj Mahaprasad. Yes. I said, excuse me, just give me 1 grain enough. Right? I don't want everything. Just give me 1 little grain enough. When I said that, he was like, he felt bad. Right? They said, no, Prabhu, please take it. I said, no, I just want a 1 little grain. Because 1 little grain morsel, it is enough for me. You know? Of course, I was not trying to offend the devotee by being greedy and you are greedy fellow, want to supper everything. I was not that, but I just one morsel. So you just sit. Then I just saw a little piece of chapati, a little small piece, like torn chapati. I just took that one little chapati and just take one grain. And in one. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, until today, I can still remember the taste of it. We are taking prashadam and everything is fine enough. But how many prashadam stick to you? But till today, this one I'm talking about, what, 10 years ago incident? Until today, I could remember that small torn, a small little chapati with one rice grain. I still could remember the taste that stick to me for a long time. Right? So now when we are all trying to become a devotee or want to become, so we let's grow in a very positive way. Let's not become a miser. When I get a chance of whacking the prashadam, I take everything, pack and go back home. No, don't do that. Every drop of that prasadam is full of mercy. Just take a little, others give it away, distribute to everyone. Number 18. This is quite common. You see in Todu, in KL, even in Ipoh, you see that. One must drink charnamrita, right? Which is offered to guests. So when given a charnamrita, don't say, I got allergy to yogurt, I got allergy to milk. That charnamrita is very, very important. One drop of charnamrita can destroy the sin as big as Mount Meru. Right? So when you get a chance to drink that charnamrita, you should immediately take it and honor it. Right? You can see in Todu, when you enter, you just take, there's a cup of water and this thing, just wash your hand, just take one dot and just drink it. Very important. Right? Then number 20, one must touch the lotus feet of the deity. If you get a chance, of course, this is for the pujari, not for us. So 21, one must see the deity with great devotion. So when you see the deity, see it with great devotion. Don't differentiate. Oh, look at Ipoh Gornita is the most beautiful. Yes. Srila Guru Maharaj have said that. Many devotees have also confirmed it. The Gornita that we have it in Ipoh is one of the most beautiful Gornita in the whole world. Right? But sometimes when you go to KL, the Gornita, just see, shouldn't do that. We must remember, the Gornita is Gornita. How he manifests is according to his flavor. Right? So sometimes when we go to like sometimes, the day in BM, I got a chance to carry Prabhupada. And that devotee was telling, do you know, our Prabhupada is the most sure real Prabhupada. So like that. So we should not differentiate. Very important. Sometimes when you go to other centers, we see the deities looks like, cannot be like Ipoh deity, cannot be like Todu deity, cannot be like SGMKL deity. No, don't ever do that. So one must see the deity with great devotion. You should be very fortunate. When you look at the deity, what should be your prayer? My dear Lord, I'm so fortunate today that I could see. I have the sense of sight. I'm not blind. I could see your beautiful form. And secondly, you gave me a chance to be mesmerized by looking at the lotus feet, looking at the decoration, the way that you're revealing yourself to me. I'm so fortunate that I'm seeing you in this beautiful form. You should glance at the deity from the toes to the top, not from the up to down, from the toes. Look at that beautiful form, the lotus feet. Slowly go to the knees. Slowly go to the hip. Slowly go to the chest and look at the lips, the bimba fruit. Look at the eyes, the pundrikaksham. Look at the hair, wavy hair. Look at the peacock. Just glance, just drink the nectar through your eyes. It doesn't matter. Because you know why? Because I was like that. Sometimes when I see some of the deities by the Goswamis and everything, I say, this deity beautiful. When I was ignorant. I'm still ignorant. I'm I'm not elevated yet. But I'm training my mind. Sometimes that the deities, there's some devotees keep, oh, my deity is the most beautiful. Oh, my Lord, look at you. You look so 100 cupids right. When I look at the deity, is it? Looks like 100 cupid combined. It doesn't look beautiful at all. Sometimes the mind says, don't. When you see a deity, you must always go into prayer. It says, I'm so fortunate that today I could able to glance you, right? So very important. So you must see the deity with great devotion. right? So now this is all total of 64. It's already 9:30, right? So we stop here. We continue 22 from Monday, all right? Because this is all further information. A lot of information is there. Because I don't want, okay, 64, I can go very fast. Anyway, okay, anyway, shall we just finish it off? Because others are only for Pujari, but we just get information, right? Right. Atratriko Savadischa Shravanam Tat Kripikshanam Smriti Dhyanam Tata Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. Number 22. One should offer Arati at the different times. Okay, the 3 times of Arati. 23, of course, it's all for Pujaris lah, because one must hear about Lord and his pastime from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and similar books. Always must remember, right? So must listen to the Srimad. When you go to the temple, don't think, oh, why this speaker talking so long? Prashadam hungry. No. You should be very attentive in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita or other books. 24, one must pray to the deity for his mercy. We should pray for his mercy. My dear Lord, please be merciful towards me. It's been time immemorial I've been struggling in this material universe, in this ocean of samsara, full of suffering. Therefore, my Lord, please give me your mercy. Please give me the opportunity that I could chant your name 64 times a day. Please give me that taste of some, pray to him. 25, one should remember the deity. Always remember the deity. All right, 26, one should meditate upon the deity when you chant. 27, one should render some volunteer service. Always remember the word voluntary. Volunteer means you don't expect anything. Don't go and do the service and go and boast. Oh, I did this there. Must be volunteer. 28, one should think of the Lord as one's friend. Don't see Krishna as honor. Just think about his friend because he's your well-wisher. 29, one should offer everything to the Lord. 88, Nija prayo paharanam tadarte kilam chestitam sarvata sharana patti tadyanam cha sevanam. 30, one should offer favorite articles such as food or garment. All right, sometimes we have money, you see some beautiful dress or sari, you can buy it and offer to the Lord. 31, one should take all kinds of risks to perform endeavor for Krishna benefit. So one should take all kinds of risk and perform all endeavors for Krishna benefit. So sometimes in sadhan bhakti, we go an extra mile. Sometimes, of course, here everyone is a senior devotees here, seniors by age. Like last time, I used to take one of my risks that sometimes I used to think I was too daring enough. We went to that most notorious gangster area to perform kirtan. Everybody is telling don't go, but we went. So something like that. So we should take, all right? Take risk. Don't worry. 32, in every condition, one should be surrendered soul. In every condition. Don't worry. I'm old, I'm young, I'm valid, invalid. Just simply surrender. I am always a surrendered soul. 39. Tadiyas tulasi sastra mathura vaishnava adaya yata vaibhavaga samagri sat gostibir mahutsavaha. Number 33, one should pour water in the tulasi tree. Don't pour a lot of water, just a little water. You must always keep the tulasi soil moist. Number 34, one should regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And similar literature. That's the idea that I started this. We try, because actually it's not to teach you, but for me to study. So we study as a group. 35, one should live in a sacred place like Madhura, Vrindavan, Dwaraka. If you get a chance, go there. 36, one should offer service to Vaishnava. You should always be prepared to serve the devotees. Right? 37, one should arrange one's devotional service according to one's means. Right? So you only can serve according to what your means. Don't over endeavor. Right? How much you can afford? Just do within your means. Urjadaro visheshena yatra janma dinadisu Shraddha visheshata priti Sri Murtir Angire Sevane. 38. In month of Kartik, all right, starting soon, October, November, one should make arrangement for special service. All right, Damodar Astaka. When Damodara month comes, we must always be enthusiastic. 39. During Janmashtami, time of appearance, one should observe special service. Try to do something extra, right? Janmashtami is coming, another 5 weeks. 40. One should do whatever is done with great care. Whatever is done with great care and devotion for the deity. Even small things, pay attention. Srimad Bhagavata Bhagavadarthanam Ashvado Rashikai Saha Sajatiya Saye Snigdha Sadhu Sangasvaspare. Number 41. One should relish the pleasure of Bhagavatam. If you have a Bhagavatam in your home, read it every day among devotees and not among outsiders. But don't read the Bhagavatam with outsiders. Right? 42. One should associate with devotees who have considered more advanced. Nama Sankirtanam Sri Mathura Mandale Sthitihi. 43. One should chant the holy name of the Lord. 44. One should live in jurisdiction of Madura. If you get a chance, stay there. Anganam Panchakakshasye Purvam Vilikitasya Cha Nikila Srastya Bodhaya Punar Apyatra Kirtanam. Now the total regularity principle come to the aggregate of 64 items. So now we see, so now is total 44 plus a traitor. So total comes to 64. You got it? Here is 44. Just now was 10. So total 64. As we have mentioned, the first are the primary 10. Then come the secondary 10. Then added to these are 44 other activities. So altogether there are 64 items of discharging regulative practice of devotional service. Vaidhi sadhana. Out of these 64 items, 5 items, okay, out of 64, namely worshipping the deity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating among the devotees, Sankirtan, and living in Madura are the very important. All right, out of 64, these 5 are important. Iti kaya rishikanta karanam upashana. The 64 item devotional should be included in all our activities of body, mind, and speech. As stated in the beginning, the regulative principle of devotional service enjoin that all our senses must be employed in the service of the Lord. 95. Chatusakti Pratak Sangatika Bedat Karma Dina. Exactly how they can be thus employed is described in the above 64 items. Exactly how they can be thus employed is described in the above 64 items. So the 64 items, we are following the sadhana bhakti. Atarsanumate sayam udaharanam iryate. Now Srila Rupa Goswami will give evidence from different scriptures supporting authentic of many of these points. Right? So now on chapter 7, whatever the 64 items that we see, now we want evidence, and Rupa Goswami is going to give us the evidence regarding the devotional principles. All right? Which we will continue next week. That we end the session here. So any questions? Anything that you want to know? All good? All right. So if it's good, then we end the session here. Thank you so much for your time. It's been my great pleasure. We have done chapter 5 and chapter 6, the third part of chapter 5 and entire chapter 6. We meet again on Monday morning. We continue on chapter 7. All right. So I'll on the group. If you have any comments or if you find anything that inspired you, you can share it in the group so that everyone in the group being inspired. Because I realize by keeping the group, only admin can distinct. There's no two-way communication. So I want to open to everyone to communicate. So please share your opinion, or even you can put a voice note or whatever. Okay, share it there. But please don't send any good morning, good evening, good night message, and don't do any forward message. All right, no forward messages. Just things related to increase our Vaidhi sadhana towards Raganuga. That's our goal. Till then, have a beautiful weekend. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripa sindhubevacha paditanam pavinebhyo vaishnavebhayo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai. Gora Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.